guys, this video will be about how I solved the 3 challenges in BsideBOS CTF, and I'm going to start with Easy Bake Oven. I solved this challenge pretty quick. On this one, I quickly intercept the request on magic cookies because the time it will took it to finish is around 7200 minutes. The important request here is the cookie in the GET request. The cookie is encoded in base64. Decoding it will provide you the recipe and the time. Changing it to an earlier date, which on mine I changed it to 5 days earlier, then encode it again to base64, then change the cookie on the GET request, then it will result to recipe being cooked. Forward the request, then you'll get the plug. Okay, then after the Easy Bake Oven, I proceed on doing the baseball challenge. The content of the file is this one. Since the title is baseball, I quickly assumed that it is a base64. I copied the text in the file, then tried decoding it on Burp Suite decoder, and it resulted to another some sort of base encoding. This is where I get slowed down. I'm not good with encoding, and quickly looking at some encoding, I couldn't easily distinguish what type of encoding used on that specific string. So I tried something first. I tried experimenting and decoding it on base64 again. Then, since here the result is unreadable, I somehow decided to read the challenge again. Here, you can see me that I'm going to read the challenge, and it says here that I found this baseball, but it doesn't really look like a baseball. After reading that, I'm still confused to what I should do next. Here you can see me keep on clicking the Burp Suite decoding button, thinking that somehow, miraculously, the Burp Suite will be able to decode the string. And as expected, it doesn't. No matter how many times I click on those, nothing will change. But still, I don't know yet what is the next step. So here you can see that I keep on clicking on it. So nothing happens, just some output keeps on providing an unreadable output. So here's the crazy part. I'm starting to think about the clue which says that it doesn't look like a baseball. So I tried to base64 decode it again, this time on my terminal. Then after running the base64 decode, I got this crazy idea that what if the string is in reverse? Not including the equal though. So I searched on Google a quick way to reverse a string online. Then after reversing, I copied the result. Then try again on my terminal, and I added the equal on the end. Then as expected, after decoding it on base64, it somehow fails again. Now after this one, I decided to look for another type of base encoding. So I just randomly type base24 decode, thinking that somehow there is a base24. From here on, I started to read some documentation on different type of encoding, base encoding. Not read though, skim. So while looking on, I found on the search result about base32 decode. So I copied the earlier result or earlier base64 decode. I searched it on my terminal again, which the first one I copied there is the result of the reverse string, but this time I tried to get the correct one, the first result of the base64 decode, which as you can see on my terminal is this one. I copied it. After copying it, I paste it on base32 decode online. Then you can see, or you should see, that it does work, or it provides a correct output. Now I'm thinking that now I thought of decoding it on base16, thinking that base encoding is somehow starting from 64, then 32, then 16. then so on and so forth. Then it fails here. The reason for on this one it will fail. The reason for that is I did not read that this one is for hex encoder and decoder. I was able to found out that it was for hex because the error is not valid for hex or not valid hex. So I went on to look for documentation of base 16. Then here you can see me scheming through base 16 documentation. Then I went on to look for a Python script to decode base 16. But somehow here you can see I'm looking for a way to decode base 16. Then here you can see me just scheming. Then here I was able to found a script that could possibly decode a base 16. Here it was an easy one, I think, if I just copy it. But yeah, somehow a part of me is lazy to write a script just to decode an encoding. So I decided to use here CyberChef. Wait, okay, here. This is where I paste the first I paste the result of base 32 decode on the input tab. Then yep, I just tried first the base 64 decode, and as you can see on the output, it is unreadable also. Then I went on to search for another type of base encoding. So first I went on to try the base 32, still unreadable. Went on to try base 58, then somehow I get the flag. Yeah, it works anyway, able to get the flag. Then I went on to submit that one on the baseball challenge, and yep, as expected, is a correct flag. So after that, I went on to try the Y2K challenge. Here, by reading this, you could not really tell what the challenge would be. So after reading that one, I'm thinking here that since there is no proper clue, maybe it is hard, but I just decided to somehow, you can see, deploy the challenge. Then, yep, after deploying the challenge, it will provide you a connection method, which is encat to the challenge. Doing this on my terminal, here you can see that I suddenly double click the enter button, which resulted to an error right away. From here on, I'm still just experimenting on what should I do. Here you can see that I'm thinking what's the error that resulted earlier, which somehow blanks, or a blank. So I tried here piping the 2020 to /ls. I'm not /ls but other pipe ls, but it says it's not defined. So here I tried how about OS. It says that the pipe is undefined or not, or invalid syntax rather. Then here I tried the OS. Somehow I did not get the idea of that error at first. Name OS is not defined. So I went on to try different thing first, because here what I'm thinking is quickly running a terminal commands, which is here is nc. As you can see, I tried netcat, and then I tried the double quote, somehow thinking that it will break the double quote inside. Although if you can see on the earlier error, there is a name OS is not defined. That should help me get the idea. So here I was able to somehow think of running the os.system, but I still did not get the idea of name OS is not defined. That's why I'm not. That's what the problem if you did not really read the error. So here I went on to quickly or try again a different. Here you can see that I'm typing 2, and when he agreed that that year will also the world end, I just type 2 again, thinking that somehow there will be an output after the response, but it doesn't. So here you can see that the long pause here. Here I was already searching on Google what to do. So I tried uname here, thinking that yeah, there's already, after the response you have already access to the terminal, but no, it doesn't. So here you can see me just experimenting, the same error as before. Yeah, so you can see here that everything is repeatedly, or here I thought of doing buffer overflow, but since it doesn't or does not work that way, I just went on to keep on trying and trying and trying. No matter if I do things like this, it means that I really like that one, the LSIDOS system or flooding everything. It means that I really don't know what to do next. I'm just hoping or miraculously something will happen. But yep, here I finally understand what's the syntax error earlier. So I think I do a quick Google search here. Here you can see that I've done this one. Import. Yeah, now I realize that import should be done, or I should do import. So here I run import, then os that system that uname dash a. Then I just pipe this to the netcat or the nc challenge.ctf.games 31656. After running that one, you can see that it outputs the uname the machine from where the challenge is running. Then I tried running ls on it. Then you can see that the plug.txt is there, same as the Python script. Then I just run cat plug.txt, which on first strong spelling. Here I get the flag. Then I copy the flag, submit it on the challenge tab, and obviously it should be correct. And yep, that should be correct. Takes longer. And yeah, I just run the John Hammond stream. Yeah, as you can see, the plug is correct. So after that one, I was able to land or get on the 60th place. And then the final one, I end up getting the 327th place. Yep, so how there's a little improvement, although everything is just a warm up. So yep, thank you for watching if you like that. Thank you, and bye bye.